Peter Obi and Labour legal team did not include alleged false certificate as one of the disqualification grounds of Tinubu in their petition. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is that Obedient must keep an eyes on the ball, because Peter Obi's saga is now, Tinubu's certificate saga is now causing a heavy distraction, and this distraction is already going astray. But let me review some certain things to you so that we can continue. Whereas most information about this alleged false certificate had been available long before the presidential election, the Peter Obi Labour Party legal team decided otherwise. So Peter Obi and Labour Party legal team did not include alleged forged certificate as one of the disqualification grounds of the Tinubu in their petition. It remains clear to the world that the Presidential Election Petition Council caused miscarriage of justice by relying on the so-called technicalities in dismissing the Peter Obi Labour Party petition. But why is it that every day you get to see different things about this Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Every day, different things. How do you have one man that is so shameless, so corny, so chameleon in nature? Just one man. One man did this, one man did that, one man did this one. Obviously everywhere. And you begin to wonder, how come? Why? You know? Now, Peter Obi Labour Party petition is quite tenable, especially on the grounds of non-compliance and 25% of FCT Abuja. We saw what happened when the judiciary decided to cause a miscarriage on the Nigerian constitution. 25% that has been happening since the days of Obasanjo, Olusegun Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, Buhari. It now came for Tinubu. That means these people are always looking for a way of destroying the Nigerian constitution, just like what Buhari did before he left. You get the point? Just like what he did. Just like what he did before he left. So now the court is now telling us that the Nigerian constitution is no longer demanding 25%. That's very shameful. Now, should I be confident that the Supreme Court will deliver substantive justice and invalidate that election? Is there still hope for the common Nigerians? Because we saw what the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal did. There was a miscarriage. I had one of my videos flagged by YouTube. I refused to, complain or set an appeal about it. But it hurts me badly. So we shouldn't talk about the thing that is disturbing our country or what. But let me reiterate that the alleged false certificate by Tinubu has been punctuated by reasonable doubt, which legally will be beneficial to Tinubu. Let us be clear not to be entrapped by the concept of enemy of my enemy is friend. Atiku Abubakar PDP is an enemy of Peter Obi as far as presidential election is concerned. Finally, let me assure everyone that my analysis or commentaries on issue are founded on higher order, simply predicate logics, facts and reason, thus without emotions or bias. But let's be clear and see what is going to come. Then something that is bothering me again is that court document reveal former Attorney General Bello Adoke filed and withdraw federal information against Bola Tinubu in January. So Bola Tinubu was indicted in a perjury case for falsely declaring that he attended government secondary school Ibadan between 1962 to 1965. You get to see different things on daily basis and you begin to ask yourself, how come? How this man be? How did he exist? How come he became? How was he formed? So you see, these things are questions that are left to be answered. And if it's not answered, it will become a very big stuff. Let me read an article for you. The new evidence before the Supreme Court is overwhelming. I've mentioned before that Atiku still faces one more significant obstacles, persuading the Supreme Court to consider the evidence and evaluate its importance in the appellate case. Recently, we have witnessed Atiku's motion to introduce new evidence. The next step is determining whether this new evidence will be admitted. The verdict on the crucial motion will decide whether or not we have Supreme Court justices or something else. The evidence is compelling and no court should overlook it. As I have previously stated, these are exceptional circumstances that the court will examine to assess if any of these criteria are met to accept the new evidence, whether it could have been presented during the original trial with due diligence, the relevance and decisiveness of the new evidence, the credibility of the new evidence, whether if believed and considered alongside other evidence, it could potentially impact the trial outcomes. The new evidence against Tinubu, along with the revelations from sworn depositions, fulfills all these criteria, and we shouldn't expect the Supreme Court to rule otherwise. The new evidence satisfies the first criterion because it's a private record that wouldn't be released without a court order. Additionally, when these private records were requested, Tinubu vigorously opposed their release. One cannot argue that this evidence could have been sought before the presidential election, since nobody expected litigation and speculation shouldn't be encouraged. The new evidence meets the second criterion as it's relevant and decisive to the case. Tinubu's academic record was a matter of contention during the trial, and the submission of fake results is grounds for disqualification. The third criteria is met because Chicago State University issued the evidence and the depositions were made under oath, making them credible. The new evidence also satisfies the last criteria because when considered alongside other evidence, it is substantial enough for the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal to potentially disqualify Tinubu during the trial. Only those with ulterior motives would overlook this crucial evidence. It's essential to understand the kind of individuals we are dealing with. Let's see how they rule on the motion. In other news, I came across Kayoma's arguments about forgery and his attempt to defend it by invoking the "he who alleges must prove" principle. I will address that argument shortly. Let's focus on the Supreme Court. One thing is very important here is this: even during the PEPT election, there was so many evidences. PEPT judgment, sorry, there were so many evidences, yet these people destroyed the Nigerian constitution. Let's see if there will be a new turnaround. Thanks for supporting the Future News. Peace.